It's a big night in politics for the state of Washington. The general election is underway, and all eyes are on the results.
We're tracking a shakeup for Seattle City Council with 7 of 9 seats up for grabs. In Snohomish County, will there be a new sheriff in town, or will he hold on to his seat?
Tacoma will decide the fate of a bitterly contested measure, calling for new renters' protections and rules for landlords.
The ballots are in, and it's time for a look at the first set of results. Fox 13 News starts right now.
Good evening and welcome to Fox 13 News on this election night. And thanks for joining us for the news at 10. I'm David Rose.
And I'm Hannah Kim. We are closely following all of the results. Let's get right to it. Here's a look at Snohomish County Sheriff's race. Susanna Johnson, 52% leading right now. The incumbent, Adam Fortney, at 48%.
Still too close to call there, but could be an upset. Here's a look at the Tacoma Measure 1, designed to give tenants more rights, but it is hotly contested by landlords. And this measure is not passing at this moment, but that is very, very close. There are a lot of votes to come in the days ahead. No voting 51% to the yes votes of 48.8%.
And problems getting numbers out in King County. And here's why. On this election night, there was an outage where the first batch of numbers were slow to come in. The best King County has been able to do was provide a PDF of the race totals so far. And our team of reporters are spread out all across our region, bringing us live results. Let's begin with Fox 13 News reporter Jennifer Dowling tracking the Seattle City Council races. Jennifer.
Good evening. Yes, we've been following District 2 and District 3. District 2's watch party for Tammy Morales has just wrapped up. She is trailing Tanya Wu at this time by a few percentage points, but she told her supporters tonight these are early results coming in, so she's looking for more votes to come in later on in the week. Meantime, Tanya Wu was surrounded by supporters in the International District tonight. She is very excited about the results. We've also been following District 3, which includes the candidates Joy Hollingsworth and Alex Hudson. They had a very close primary. That district, with redistricting, will soon stretch from the Central District to East Lake, including Capitol Hill, First Lake, Montlake, and Madison Park. So this was Shama Shawansa district. She did not seek re-election. The candidates in District 3 include transportation advocate Alex Hudson, as I mentioned, and cannabis entrepreneur Joy Hollingsworth. We stopped by a rally in Capitol Hill for Hudson tonight, during which she also dropped off her ballot at a drop box in Capitol Hill. Meantime, Hollingsworth was talking with supporters at her church. She said she's also excited for tonight's vote. Although she doesn't think that they will know who a true winner is tonight, she feels they'll have to await until the vote tallies start coming in throughout the rest of the week as well, but she still is very excited. The candidates explained their stance on public safety tonight, which was a top priority for voters in that district. Take a listen.
1,400 deployable officers is not a reasonable goal because the police department itself says they can only hire 125 officers a year. So we can get to 1,400, sure, but it's going to take 4 years to get there. So what are our safety solutions in the meantime? Because I don't know about you, but I don't want to wait 4 years so that somebody comes when I need help, or I see somebody who needs help. So, you know, getting to the right number of police officers, we can do that, but it's about what do we do in the meantime? And that's about creating real alternatives that don't rely on police officers to be part of some of the 20 to 40% of calls that come into 911 that don't require a police officer.
Increasing our police, fire, our EMT, lowering our response times. It's also our gun violence prevention program as well. It's also after-school program for our youth. So it's everybody working in unison to create a baseline level of public safety in our city.
And when it comes to homelessness, another big issue, Joy Hollingsworth says she supports building more market-rate homes in her district and fully supports the Regional Homeless Authority. However, she says that the city needs to centralize a location where people can connect with resources and have measurable goals and accountability, where service providers have metrics for improvement. Meantime, Alex Hudson says she supports the KCRHA, and however, she says she wants to create more focus on immediate shelters to get people off the street or inside and focus on providing drug addiction support and trauma-informed care. So the candidates are very aware of what voters are looking for tonight. It remains to be seen how the early votes shake out compared to what comes in later on in the week. Most candidates say they are waiting for the results to come in throughout the coming days to see if they will actually come out on top, but they are excited about what's happening tonight. Reporting live in South Seattle, Jennifer Dowling, Fox 13 News.
Thank you, Jennifer. We'll talk more about the Seattle City Council races ahead, but also you can see the race totals streaming by at the bottom of your screen on our ticker. Now, the race for King County Council District 8 between Teresa Mosqueda and Sophia Aragon still looking to be very close.
Fox 13 reporter Nia Wong joining us live with the latest number. So, Nia, has anything changed since we last looked at those results?
Well, it is razor thin still, but you wouldn't know that if you were at the watch party at the Westin tonight. This wrap party just ended around 9 o'clock, but we popped in before while it was well underway, and we saw so many smiles in there. And when we grabbed Teresa Mosqueda, she was feeling pretty confident. Right now, the latest batch results shows that Mosqueda is in the lead with a little more than 50%. She faces Sophia Aragon, who has just over 49%. Mosqueda, a two-term current Seattle City Council member, has some big endorsements, including Governor Jay Inslee. Meanwhile, Aragon is a first-term mayor of Burien. She's currently also the executive director of the Washington Center for Nursing. Her endorsements include former Governor Gary Locke. Now, this region covers West Seattle down to Burien and over to Vashon Island. The District 8 seat is currently held by Joe McDermott, who is stepping down from the position he's held for more than a decade. And soon, we will learn one of these ladies, either Mosqueda or Aragon, will be stepping in for him. But let's roll it back to the August primary. Mosqueda won 58% of the vote to 38% for Aragon. With this new batch of results, it is so much tighter, and of course, these results will change. For now, in downtown Seattle, Nia Wong, Fox 13 News.
Nia, thank you. We are breaking down tonight's election results with complete live team coverage.
Yeah, we have our political analyst, Randy Peppel, next to me here, a Republican and founder of ShiftWad.org, and Kathy Allen, a distinguished Democrat with the Connections Group. Let's talk about the shakeup we're seeing tonight. We will go into more depth on Seattle City Council a little bit later, but right now we're seeing that there is a big turnover in the tenor of the Seattle City Council race. So, Kathy, I'd like you to address that as the Democrat in the room. Big night for moderate Democrats, it seems.
It was, and that simply means that it wasn't a good night for socialist Democrats. And so from all of this, that was much more of a moderate night. It is going to be a really new city council. Right now, what we're looking at is it could be 8 of the 9 council members may be new, because should Mosqueda win, if she wins, then there'd be another open seat that the city council would have to name. However, I got to say, it's not just in Seattle. There's 6 different major suburbs, including Bellevue, including Burien. There's a number of places that literally have changed with major members of their city council actually being replaced. Up in Bellingham, big changes. Even the mayor's race is teetering on the edge of his not being reelected. And so this is a night where having 50% of the vote or less has meant that we have more people who put more time probably into the decision making and went for change.
And when you, as David mentioned, below on the screen there, you see some of those numbers scrolling, and you guys were mentioning, Randy, that if you have maybe a 10% lead, you're sitting pretty, but anything beneath that, I mean, should anybody really be celebrating?
Well, yeah, I mean, there's 2 big caveats on election night. That only about half of the vote that will be counted eventually is counted tonight. So if you're within 10 points, you've still got a chance. If it's outside of 10 points, it's highly unlikely that you're going to close that ground. So what you're seeing in the city of Seattle is that, 6 of those races, of the city council races, are at that 10-point margin. I mean, it looks like those are done. You're only looking at one race, the Dan Strauss race, that is close enough that you'd say, hey, this is too close to call. The other caveat I'd say is, when you say moderate Seattle City Council members, they are not moderate by any stretch of the imagination, as a conservative like me would define it. They are almost as far left as the members that they might be replacing, but they've gotten the message on public safety. I mean, that's really the defining issue, I think, that's going to be the separator that determines who won. And the Seattle Times endorsement right now is the one that is carrying the day, because all of the city council candidates endorsed by the Times are winning.
The stranger
as opposed to the ones endorsed by the stranger are losing. And those are the ones that tend to come back after election night in recent Seattle elections.
All right. Well.